Welcome back, and we are here in Hillhouse Park in Charleston, Missouri. I'm here with the head coach, Coach Minner, for the McDonald's Fighting Squirrels. Coach, it's great to see you.
Good to
and
see
this
you.
is also his son, Cal. Can you
So
say
what's up?
hi?
What's up?
Okay, so going into this game, what is the plan? Like, you know, coming from off a split win on Wednesday, what is your plan for tonight?
Yeah, we've got some guys that are earning some spots, and we're getting a little closer to finding out who our 9 are that are going to play in the state tournament next Friday.
Yeah.
So that's ultimately, we got guys trying to compete to try to win a spot, and we hope that there's a sense of urgency. We keep talking about a sense of urgency, but we need one, and we need to find it quick to find those guys that want to be in that lineup.
Yeah. So who is standing out more so, this week or previous weeks, going forward?
Well, some of our pitchers are, not anyone in particular, but we've got some guys that are throwing the ball a little bit better. We were walking too many guys, and last week we had some guys really step up and do a good job of saying that I want the baseball whenever it comes time to win or go home. So we feel like we're doing some good things. We're going to throw Grant James tonight. He's been one of our better arms, so we need him to have another good start leading into the state tournament, and we'll kind of play it from there. So we got some guys that have been hitting the ball all year, but defensively we're getting a little bit better, and so we need to keep playing.
Yeah. Okay, so you have 2 games left before the state tournament. What, going in, I know it's looking ahead, but you will be playing Sikeston Legion again tomorrow or next week.
So, ultimately, we're trying to get at bats. We just want to get at bats. We need guys to see a lot of live pitching, and we need a lot of ground balls. We came in early today, and guys probably got 100 of ground balls apiece. We're just trying to right now work on being good at what what we need to be good at. So it's that time of the year where, there's not much new that you're putting in. We just need to continue to play.
Yeah. Well, Coach, I guess that's all. It was good to talk with you and your son, and good luck tonight facing up against the
Silver Sox.
Silver Sox. That's right. Well, good luck.
All right, thank you. Say thank you, Cal, man. Thank you.
Good afternoon and welcome to baseball. We're proud to bring you the Fighting Squirrels baseball from Hillhouse Park in Charleston, Missouri, across Acor Media Networks. I'm Tommy Jacobs.
And I'm Terry McVeigh, bringing you all the action this afternoon as the 19 and under Fighting Squirrels take on the Sikeston Legion Silver Sox. Looking ahead, Squirrels will be in Paragould, Arkansas next Tuesday at 5 p.m. and will face the Paragould Glen Sane GMC Legion.
And don't forget, next Wednesday we will be back at Hillcrest Park where the Squirrels will be up against the same Sikeston team at 4 o'clock here at Charleston. Make sure to tune in to YHC YouTube channel to catch the Squirrels in action next Wednesday afternoon here at Hillcrest Park. Terry, we're just moments away from baseball, and it's good to have you back.
It's always good to be here, and it's great to be at this park. I like this facility.
We'll step aside for just a second for the national anthem. We'll be right back.
Autry Moreland wants to buy your car. Big cars, small cars, fast cars, and funny cars. If it's got 4 wheels and an engine, we're swiping right. We've got the largest pre-owned inventory in southeast Missouri right here at Autry Moreland Automotive. Even if Moreland's not on the back of your car, we're still interested. There's never been a better time to make a change. Come to one of our 5 Autry Moreland locations in Dexter or in Sikeston, Missouri, and let us help you turn what you have into what you want.
Field ready to go. Starting pitcher is Grant James, comes in with a record of 3-1, 2.45 ERA.
We've watched him earlier here. Does a pretty good job on the mound. Tall, lanky fella, got a good fastball. The Squirrels are coming off of a split over at Poplar Bluff last Wednesday where they were 3-2 victors over the Tropics. But they dropped a game to the Aces by the score of 10-9. Not too many days. They played a doubleheader against the Tropics here and won both of those, and they beat them once over at Poplar Bluff. So this Tropics team's a nice team, but hey, these Squirrels, you can't count them out. It seems like they can hit in numbers. It's just contagious the way they go, and they're very smart on the bases. Coach Minner, he's a very good coach, and he'll lay the bunt down, advance runners, and to do the things to win.
Well, as a team, the Squirrels are hitting 345 coming in. They got a record, I believe, of 21-7. So that tells you that they pitch pretty well and they hit very well. And what we've seen here before, they fill their position.
Yes, they do. They got missing a couple players today, as we miss Charlie Parker. Charlie's not here. Charlie's an excellent player. Played at Camel and over at Three Rivers. Left-handed hitter, hit a ball about as hard as you can hit one the other day, about a foot over that first baseman's head, rolled to the wall, drove in a run or two, and man, he got all of it.
Well, he had a good season at Three Rivers. Played outfield there, playing shortstop for the Squirrels, but not here today. And filling in at shortstop for him today is Jace Aycock.
Jace Aycock's a nice player out of East Prairie. We're about ready for baseball, where leading off will be the center fielder, Jacob Levitt. And we don't have where these players for Sikeston are from. We know where a few of them are. We know Jacob Heckmeyer's from Sikeston.
We know that, yeah. We got to see him a lot on the football field last year.
Tell you what, he's a pretty nice quarterback. He's tall. He can look across that line.
Good
got
arm.
a new coach, doesn't he? Is that his second year for the new coach or first year?
I believe it's second year.
Terry, it's not going to be very long. After this week, we got a game Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Yeah, and then the state tournament starts. And before we know it, it's going to be football season.
Yeah, state tournament, I think it's not quite time for things like the state tournaments, but next weekend.
Yeah, and we'll be bringing the state tournament to you here on Aycock Media. Well, the Silver Sox are sending in their first batter, like I say, Jacob Levitt, the center fielder, as he will be facing Grant James. Grant's out of Notre Dame. He's undecided on what his future will be. As we're ready for the first pitch, and here we are underway with the first pitch. Squares to bunt and call strike one. We got some pretty good officials here in these games, Terry.
Have some experience.
Sure has. There's another swing and a miss, strike two. Looks like we got Eric Johnson out on the bases. Eric was here the other night, was behind the plate, and we're ready for the second pitch, and comes in just a bit inside. He's right around the plate with his first three pitches, and he'll be looking in, and here comes that fastball right down the middle, and a ground ball to second base, fielded and out of the game. Silver Sox made contact, but right to the second baseman, threw him out. And let's see who we got coming in here. That is Bryce Phillips, the third baseman. No, they've got him shortstop. They've got third base on the end.
Russell's playing third base. Phelps is the shortstop tonight.
As Grant James looks in, gets his signal. Here's the pitch. Fastball fouled off to the right, out of play. Beautiful day here, Terry.
Oh yeah, it's July and it's warm.
Yes, yeah, Southeast Missouri, July and August, you better be ready.
Well, like Casey Stengel said about in 1966 about Busch Stadium too, that it holds the heat well.
That's correct.
And they had that 14 inning, maybe 15 inning all-star game there. And it's 100 degrees and with that turf field and 150 degrees on the field.
I'd say it would hold the heat pretty well.
Yeah, Casey said it holds the heat well.
No ball and 2 strikes on the hitter, and here it is. And there's a ground ball fielded by the third baseman. He throws it over to Bledsoe, and a little bit wild and pulled Bledsoe off of the bag face. So the runner is safe at first. So that puts the first runner aboard for the Silver Sox.
Yeah, had time, had made a good play to his left to field it, just threw wide to first.
Sure did. Who we got, number 27?
Noah Pruitt.
Pruitt.
First baseman.
Pruitt steps in. He's a tall young man. Runner takes a short lead. Ball inside. Grant James. Looks like got pretty good stuff here early. James, watch the runner back. He fakes a run, blew it by him for a strike.
Good breaking ball.
Yes, it was.
Like the Squirrels usually do, the outfield plays pretty shallow.
Yes, they do. Here's a pitch. There's a shot out to left field, and they try to surround it, and it's going to get.
Nice catch.
Nice catch by the center fielder. Is that Garrison Scott?
That's Garrison Scott. Made a nice catch. He came over, looked like he had a good beat on it, and then started running backwards. Thought maybe he was going to get over his head, but he makes a nice run and backhanded catch.
Very good. Number 5, Morgan Avery. He's the 4th place hitter. He's the left fielder for the Sox. And here's the pitch, just a little low. Simmons behind the plate. And the runner goes, and there's a throw to second, and he's going to be in there safe on a pretty close. But it was kind of a hard ball to handle behind the plate.
Well, it was high, as high and inside, and the runner got a good.
He did.
Good break off first.
The Sox have a runner on second with 2 outs. And there's a swing and a miss. 2 balls and a strike. So we'll see if Grant James can't get out of this. Leave that runner stranded. He looks the runner back. He's going to fakes a third, and there's a little shot, and nice play by Eacock to retire the side. So that brings us to the end of the half inning of play. We'll be back at Charleston after this.
We're for agriculture, for growers, doers, whatever it takers. We're for doing things with purpose. We're for the little guy with big guy dreams. We're for agriculture. We're for you. Nutrien Ag Solutions, leading the field.
Hal Funeral Home in Canton, Missouri is here to provide comfort in your most trying time. We'll be with you every step of the way, from planning to final arrangements. With live streaming options and a quality that gives your loved ones the care they deserve. With a modern facility and the willingness to make a difference.
Because there is a difference, there is PAL Funeral and Cremation Services.
We'll see what the Squirrels can do with their leadoff man, Garrison Scott. I think he's batting about 500.
He is. He's batting 500 with 29 RBIs. And as happens so often in baseball, the guy that makes the good defensive play, he's the first one up next time they come to the plate.
He'll be followed by Blake Anderson. We'll see if we can't get Garrison Scott on base, and maybe the Squirrels can get a run in here pretty quick in the bottom of the first. We'll see. There's going to have Lucas King on the mound for the Sox. We'll see what happens here. Men are down the line. Jason Gentry behind the plate, catching Lucas King this afternoon, as Garrison Scott high inside, and they said he just got him a little bit.
Caught the jersey just a little bit.
Did. That'll put the runner on with a hit by pitch.
Always good to get hit by a pitch where it's not going to leave a bruise.
There you go.
If you're going to get hit by a pitch, get it to graze the jersey.
That's right.
That way you don't have a bruise with a stitch mark in it.
Oh, we got Blake Anderson stepping in. Blake's out of Notre Dame. He's batting .391 with, is it 37 RBIs?
37 RBIs. He leads the Squirrels in RBIs.
Scott takes his lead. He's measuring the pitcher. The pitcher looks back. Now he brings the pitch home and got by the catcher, and Scott advances to second. So we've got a runner in scoring position, and we'll see if the leading RBI producer can bring him around.
Probably going to be a pass ball.
Yeah. We're going to have a timeout from the official, and he's running some players back in the dugout. He's sending Ben Bledsoe back to the dugout. Ben's not on deck, but he'll be on deck next. But he was getting an early start.
Well, you got when it's 95 degrees and you're sitting in the dugout, it's a whole lot better to be in the hole outside the dugout.
I agree. And that brings us to 3 balls and no strikes to Anderson. Anderson's ready, and Scott takes his lead at second. And that's going to put a man with a walk. And you know, as we said before, you cannot defend the walk or the hit batsman. And that's going to bring number 5.
We'll have a visit to the mound by Coach Sidwell of the Sox.
Trying to get his big right-hander settled down a little bit before he steps in to face Jace Aycock out of East Prairie. Jace batting .344 coming into the day. Very nice defensive person. The Sox have had lots of errors this year, but you know that hopefully they can overcome that before the state tournament comes.
Yeah.
Comes to Sikeston. Comes to Charleston.
Come right here to the Hill House.
That's going to be I suspect this place will be pretty crowded during the World. I'm going to keep saying World for the state championship, of which the Sox are the Squirrels have won a few times. Aycock faked a bunt, runner's back. He was probably going to lay it down, but it wasn't a pitch to bunt. It was outside and high.
Third baseman was charging on the play, trying to do a wheel with the shortstop covering third.
Aycock squares the bunt, and they call strike 1 as they throw to second to get Garrison Scott back. If I'm not mistaken, Aycock and Scott signed for the same college to play baseball, and they're getting quite a good duo of those two players. Scott bunts and he fouls it back and out of play.
Yeah, I believe they've signed in St. Louis Community College.
I think that's right. I think you're right, Terry. He's at 1 ball and 2 strikes with no outs, with 2 Squirrels on, 1 on first and 1 on second. He's trying to advance them, but Aycock will try to drive it. And here's a pitch from King as he brings it around. Aycock gets around on it, but pops it up shortstop back under it, makes the catch too, before they retire or get the first out.
Yeah, infield fly rule.
Yeah. Well, he got under that thing, and it was up in the air pretty good. But let's see who's coming up now. Is going to be Gavin Jensen. Jensen out of Kelly, at 257, 14 RBIs, and there's 2 sitting out there. They're holding Garrison Scott pretty close. They know he has some pretty good speed on the bases.
And although Jansen's hitting 257, his on-base percentage is 536. He's drawn more walks than anybody.
There's a high pop foul out to Heckemeyer, but it's going to second baseman's going to be out to
be infield fly.
Infield fly again. And here's Ben Bledsoe. Living batting 429. Started out real hot this year. He's leading the team in RBI early, but he's kind of been in a slump at the times we've watched him. But boy, he's a nice athlete. He signed with St. Charles Junior College the other night when we were here with the broadcast. As Bledsoe let it go by, high and outside. Ball one. We got 2 outs, 2 runners on.
And you know how hot he has been, because if he's in a little bit of a slump, he's still hitting 420.
You bet. You bet. Oh, nice breaking ball. And
way out in front of that one. That's a good pitch.
Very good pitch. We'll see what Lucas will dial up for him this time as he looks in, gets his sign, watches the runner, and strike. No, he called it a
strike
ball.
two. I think you're right.
I thought he was throwing that arm up.
Well, I thought he threw the right arm up.
That makes it 2-1 as the ump fooled Terry and I both. And there's ball 3, ball low. And you know sometimes that's not too hard to do fool us, is it, Terry?
No. Doesn't take much wool to get over our eyes.
Not as much it used to. And here's a pitch to Bledsoe, and picked up the walk. That loads him up.
Hits Bassman and 2 walks. He's still got a chance to get out of it. He's got 2 outs, bases loaded.
We got Dylan Thornborough up, batting 328 with 21 RBIs on the season, and that base hit could possibly score 2 runs.
Probably going to beat, because they don't have to worry about holding up for to see if the ball's going to be caught or anything. They'll just be off running on contact.
Sure will. That's a ball high on the outside. Thornborough looks in, looking for something to drive. Looks like Thornborough out of Sikeston. Sure, he played high school ball with a lot of these Sox. Thornborough looking for a pitch to drive, and there's a pitch low. Pitcher's missing low quite a bit. Kind of get tied up there.
Yeah, he doesn't have command. So now's the time you want to get on him.
You bet. Here's a pitch. That's 3 balls and a strike, and he's going to have to be pretty picky this time because he's going to have to come to you, so he's going to be looking for something fat to drive.
Infield on the left side's come pulled back just a couple of steps, looking for the force.
There's a pitch, and he drives it over the shortstop's head. That's going to plate 2 run. Nice, very nice hit, and he ends up at second base, and Bledsoe at third. I'm sorry. Well, that was a nice hit. Put that thing in a line right over the shortstop's head, about 2 foot. Heath McCain will step to the plate for the Squirrels. Well, that was a nice hit. Nice drive. Heath McCain.
Yeah, King was about to get out of the inning, but
he sure was. At 359, the third baseman today, out of Oran. Oran's had some nice baseball teams in the past. About every year they're competitive. Heath looks. Here's the pitch. He's Pitcher having a little bit of trouble finding the strike zone.
Yeah, and that's where we got behind Thornborough 3-1 and had to lay one in there.
Sure did. He threw that by him. That was, I believe he might have reached for a ball 2, but strike 2 now. Well, Preston Van Dyke on deck for the Squirrels, as here's a pitch. Struck him out with a little breaking ball, but not before the Squirrels did some damage. 2-0 after 2. We'll be back at Charleston after this.
What is Southeast Missouri? Let's try this again. You are Southeast Missouri. You make Southeast Missouri what it is. And Southeast Missouri is who we are. It's in our name. It's in our past. And with you, it's our future. Welcome home.
In a very short period of time, we've experienced amazing growth and success at Southeast Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. And through it all, we've had only one goal: to get you back to life. And when things get better, when you feel better, we'll be right here to cheer you on. Southeast Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, always by your side.
Terry, the Squirrels kind of got on that pitcher a little bit that time, and he had a little trouble finding the strike zone. We hit a batter and walked one, I think, and might have walked 2.
He walked 2, hit 1, and but still had a chance to get out of the inning. He was the bases loaded and they had the chance to get out of it, but he got behind the hitter 3-1, had to lay one in there, and Thornborough made him pay.
Oh,
2
Thornborough
RBI single. Yeah.
We'll see what Grant James can do. He had a pretty good first half inning, and he's from Notre Dame. And we'll see if he can handle him. Stepping in will be Joseph Heckemeyer, the right fielder. Quarterback for the football team. Nice-looking athlete.
A tremendous athlete.
Yes, he is. Joseph stepped in and here's the pitch to Joseph, and it's going to be low. And here's the second pitch, the 1-0 count. Strike 1 on the outside corner. As here's the 1-1 count. Pitch on the way, high and inside, 2-1. You know, Terry, I would say that if Kim Heckemeyer's not in court, she's here.
I would think that.
She really supports her own kids as well as everyone else at Sikeston. I think she supports the football team, that different things, goes to bat for them, different, brings them snacks. And I really, and I know the coach really appreciates fans like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, coach can't do it all himself. The coach and his staff can't do it all himself. To have a successful team, especially at the high school level, you have to have parents involved.
Exactly. All right, James pitched to Heckemeyer and struck him out, but the catcher and Heckemeyer heads to first, and there's a throw, and he's going to be safe. Not a very good throw down to Ben Bledsoe. And, the catcher had to step out a little bit because Heckemeyer was running. He stayed right on the line, and he had made kind of a bad throw, and that put Heckemeyer at first with no outs.
Goes down as a strikeout and an error on the catcher.
Yeah. Here's Tyler. Takes a pitch, drives it out of play, off to the right. Tyler Stokes, the pitcher. No, they got it. He is one of the pitchers. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. He's a designated hitter today.
Right.
Stokes looks at a high fastball out of the strike zone, or open to even it up at 1-1. Tyler Stokes looks at a fastball inside. 2-1. No outs with a runner on first. Squirrels plated 2 runs. They're part of the. There's a drive deep to center field, but it's going to be caught by the center fielder Scott to record the first out of the top of the second. Saw some pictures on Facebook today with someone, and it had a lot of pictures of the Squirrels. Some of the Squirrels and had something. They were calling him the G-Man. so
Well, he covers some ground out in center field.
He sure can.
I mean, covers ground to center field, leads off. Valuable member of the team.
You bet you. This brings in the catcher. The 7th place hitter is Dayton Gentry. Fastball. There goes Heckemeyer, and he stole second. I guess that's Heckemeyer.
It is.
They didn't put a substitute runner in for him, did they?
I don't believe so.
That was the second throwing error of the inning for Van Dyke, the catcher.
Now, he didn't have much chance to throw Heckemeyer out on that. He had a great jump, and he's got some speed.
As here's the pitch, and he squares the bunt, trying to advance the runner. And here's the pitch. We'll see what it does. And he pulled back, but the strike across the center of the plate.
That'll pull the infield back just a little bit. He's got 2 strikes. They won't be bunting on this pitch.
Grant James looks in, gets his signal, looks back at Heckemeyer. And here's the pitch, strike, and the Reds punched him out of there for the second out of the inning.
First strikeout for James.
Brings in the shortstop, Bryce Phillips. No, I'm sorry.
Russell, Darren Russell.
Yeah, Russell, the third base. They've got this. I'm gonna have to scratch all them out because out to the side
right.
They got what they played the last inning or the last game. Anyway, we got Russell facing the pitcher, and there's foul back. Nice pitch by James. And as Russell is down, no balls and 2 strikes, as James steps off, looks back. Heckemeyer didn't have a very big lead, but he stepped off.
Shortstop Acock's keeping Heckemeyer close.
Sure is. Here's the pitch. High and outside, gets by the catcher, and Heckemeyer stays put down at second base.
His first step was back to the bag.
Sure
when it got past the catcher, and there's not much room in foul territory. There really wasn't. Really would not have been with 2 outs. You don't want to make the third out at third base.
He threw a breaking ball, but didn't break and came close to hitting him, but he stepped out of the way. And evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Heckemeyer takes his lead. There's a little punch down the line, and it's going to be foul, and Bledsoe makes a gallant effort, but it's just out of his reach.
Thought he was going to get there for a minute.
I did too.
It was a nice effort.
Yes, he sure was. And we'll see what happens on this as Russell steps back in. Russell's the third baseman. He's the 8th place hitter. We've got Heckemeyer on second with 2 outs. Ball gets away to the catcher, and Heckemeyer will advance on that one. He had plenty of time to kind of bounce away from the catcher.
Yeah, that was about a 55-foot pitch.
Sure was. We got 2 outs here in the top of the second with the Sox have a runner on third, trailing 2-0 to the Squirrels. And James looks in, gets his signal. Here's a pitch, and that's a little short scrubber, and he's going to throw him out, and they're going to call him, say they pulled him off. And I couldn't see it from here around this camera, but
I think it was a good call.
yeah, and that scored a run.
And the umpire, they have 2 umpires, so when the runner's on base, the umpire stationed behind the pitcher's mound in front of second base, but he had a good angle at it.
He did, sure did. We'll see if Grant James can't shut this Sox team down as they bunt, but it foul. It'll be Connor Wallace, 9th place hitter, the second baseman.
I said the strikeout of Gentry was James' first strikeout. That was actually his second strikeout. The Heckemeyer was the first strikeout, but he made it to first.
There was a shot to the shortstop. Aycock picked it up, threw it to second for the force out, and that ends the inning. But not before the Sox scored 1. We'll be back at the bottom of the second after this. Terry, the Sox scored a run, and we're going to see if what the Squirrels can do. Preston Van Dyke will lead off for the Squirrels. Preston Van Dyke is the catcher. Does a nice job behind the plate.
Comes in hitting .292. And we had, when we first scored in the last inning for the Sox, we gave an error to Van Dyke when when Heckemeyer reached first base on the strikeout, but that was scored as a wild pitch, so there's no error given to Van Dyke on that.
Yeah, probably good. As Lucas King looks in, gets his signal, and Van Dyke gets under it and drives it to left field. Left fielder over and under it and makes the catch to record the first out. Number 7 was Carter Herring, the 9th place hitter, the extra hitter today. Next Wednesday at 4, the Silver Sox will be back here to take on the Squirrels in the last regular season game. Pitcher is shot to third, takes the good hop, drove to first, got him or record the second out.
Good arm.
Very good arm. And we'll see who's up. That is number 3. And here's the pitch. And he takes the pitch.
He's going to take that one all the way.
Sure
He wasn't going to let the pitcher get away with 3-pitch inning.
No, that's Logan. And he's going to work him a little bit. 1-1, 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs. All high. Needs to work him as much as he can. Lucas,
Well,
he's doing a good job.
he's had trouble getting the ball over the plate
Yeah.
first inning, and then you come out and get 2 outs on 2 pitches. Got to make him work.
Yeah, he's starting to struggle again as it's 3-2, and now that makes a full count of 3-2 with 2 outs. Nice pitch by King.
King's stabilizing himself.
And he watches the strike 3 as he's punched out of there, and that ends the second inning with the Squirrels up 2-1. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
It takes a lot to make a home, and no one knows that better than WW Wood. It takes a plan and a steady hand to start the process, the knowledge and know-how to make those necessary cuts, craftsmanship to shape out an idea, and the artistry to add in the fine details and final touches. Our employees are right there with you, bringing it all together to make a quality and custom product that makes your home uniquely yours. So thank you for allowing WW Wood to make your house feel like a home.
Growing cotton in the Mid-South is hard work. As a farmer, you make tough decisions every day. Choosing a cotton variety shouldn't be one of them. Next-gen brand varieties from Americot are bred specifically for cotton growers like you. We're 100% independent and farmer-owned. Plant cotton that works as hard as you do. Americot. All we do is cotton, all the time.
Well, we're ready for the bottom of the third as Grant James taking his warm-up pitches to Van Dyke. Van Dyke, the catcher, is out of Hayti, and he does a nice job. They have a couple of catchers on here that we've watched this year that are pretty good behind the plate. And we'll see what happens with
McClellan handles a lot of the catching duties, and he's from Cooter, and he's a good catcher.
Yes, he is, and a pretty young. There was a couple, 3 Cooter high school players that have graduated or are still in school were on the Tropics the other night, and they'd have a little conversation when they come up here. He was behind the plate, and his battery mate down there, he kind of knew what he was going to throw maybe. And we'll see. It's back to the top of the batting order, and here's a pitch by Grant James. This is a foul off to the left.
This is going to be James' second trip through the lineup.
Right. This is Jacob Levitz, the center field. Levitt, left-hander, takes ball for ball 1. And here's the next pitch to Levitt. He squares the bunt and pulls back for ball 2. Got a pretty good crowd here. Looking at both bleachers. Of course, right down the road, Sikeston, and they're going to bring some fans. High inside, kind of brushed him back. That brings the count to 3-1. James has not walked anybody as of this, but there's a nice pitch. Strike 2. He was just trying to draw that walk, I think, Terry. I don't think he had too much intentions of laying that bunt down. He just wanted to maybe shake the pitcher a little bit and get on base, and there's a shot, foul territory, and a third baseman over makes a nice catch to record the out. Very nice. Heath McCain over to record that out.
Yeah, you got a good break on it because the ball wasn't in the air all that long.
No, it wasn't. Going to bring up the short, Bryce Phelps, the shortstop.
He reached on an error by the third baseman in the first inning and stole second.
Oh, he drives this out to center field as Scott goes back, and he really tagged it, but Scott played him well and recorded the second out of the inning. That was one of the hardest hit balls we've had.
Well, that's the third inning. That's the third put out by the center fielder.
Yes, Garrison Scott impresses me.
He covers a lot of ground out there.
Sure does.
One thing the Squirrels do is they play pretty shallow.
Right. There's the first pitch in there for a strike. And there's a second pitch, just a little bit outside.
Just to keep you abreast of the Cardinals, I think they're playing in that Philadelphia this evening. Nolan Arenado just drove in Paul Goldschmidt. We've heard that. We've heard that a couple of times this year.
You betcha. James, delivery and strike two or strike one. That makes it a 1-2 count. Strike two, 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Kind of hard sometimes for me to see that scoreboard out there. There's a nice breaking ball, and he's punched out by the home plate umpire to record the third out. 2-1 at the bottom of the third. We'll be right back.
To make the right decisions for your operation, you need 2 things: accurate, secure data and the ability to make it work for you. Introducing AFS Connect Advanced Farming Systems from Case IH. AFS Connect puts you in total command of your operation, bringing together your farm, fleet, and data like never before, with ongoing support from your Case IH dealer every step of the way, so you can increase efficiency year-round. Whether you're optimizing soil conditions, managing nutrients, planting, or harvesting, AFS Connect allows you to remotely monitor every machine. You'll have access to location, diagnostics, fuel, and engine data, giving you the information you need to make the right decisions for your operation. Now that's rethinking productivity.
Well, Terry, we're at the bottom of the third. We'll see if the Squirrels can do some damage.
We've got top of the order coming up. It's going to be the King's second time through the order. The Squirrels got off to a good start with Garrison Scott getting hit by a pitch, then Blake Anderson walking, and eventually both of those guys came around to score on Thornborough's 2 RBI single. And that's the scoring for the Squirrels so far.
See what Garrison Scott can do facing Lucas King as Lucas into his windup. Here's the pitch, and he drives a high ball out to center field, but it looks like it's going to be caught by the center fielder, and his counterpart on the center field retires him.
That's Levitt. Got that up in the air and played well.
Sure was.
And again, Squirrels swinging at the first pitch.
Yeah. Anderson, the hitter, as he takes the ball on the inside corner for the call, strike one.
I thought it was ball two.
I already was ready to say ball one.
I'll say it for you.
But he retaliates, drives it over the third baseman's head for a single. But it sure looked like it was inside at first. And you know, I've never missed a call in basketball or baseball.
Oh, Lord, no.
No,
no, we're right here on top of it.
That's right.
Umpire's 2 feet behind it, and we're about 50.
That's right. That's going to bring in number 5, Jace Aycock. Jace come into the game batting .344. We've got runner down at first with 1 out. Anderson back in.
Aycock popped up the shortstop his first trip.
Jace Aycock out of East Prairie. Well, that players on that good district tournament team from the East Prairie Eagles. There's a lot of good baseball played in southeast Missouri.
Sure is.
In softball. There's a pitch, swing and a miss on Acock with a no ball, 1 strike count. I think he might have swung at the ball a little outside that time, but he was going after it. Jay steps back in.
It may have been outside, may have been called strike.
We've seen that happen. They keep. Ooh, that was close at first, but he's back in.
That's twice in a row. They're holding him on this time. They're not going to let him get any type of good jump.
And they know that.
And he's looking to run.
He sure is. I think leading in stolen bases, not sure. Lucas King, he had a lot of speed on that ball, but it was a crazy ball. Was it 1-1? Yeah.
It is.
And here we go. And the runner run. It was a hit and run, and he goes in around second. He's headed to third. And a nice hit and run by Jace Acock with driving him from first to third. And that's what they were pumped up to do, that hit and run. Boy, Acock took it over the first baseman's head and couldn't have placed it any better.
Yeah, they had the hit and run going. Anderson was going off at first. The infield's moving, but that ball's, I don't care where the infielders were, that was going to find the grass.
It sure was. That's going to bring up Gavin Jensen. Jensen looked in with a 1 out, 2 runners on, and he's got a lot of faith in his first baseman because he didn't let up much on that pitch to drive that runner back, and we got a nice runner on third base. And here's a pitch. Strike called.
If it's out there, you might be well advised to be swinging.
He may be if it's out there. No ball, 1 strike, and they've got him picked off, and they're gonna bring the runner in. Now they're gonna throw it home, and he's in safe.
It wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close, and that did not work out well for the Sox. You know, when he thought had him picked off, and he paused to draw that throw and make them chase him, and that runner alertly came in, and it, like I say, Terry, it wasn't close.
It wasn't even close.
No.
And, the first baseman kind of hesitated a little bit too long.
Exactly.
Because Anderson was going to come. He was going to deke the first baseman, and he did a good job of doing that.
Gavin Jensen takes the ball high and outside. That brings the count to 1-1. We got a runner out on second. That's Acock. He takes a short lead, being held on by the shortstop. There's a shot down the first base line by the first baseman. That's going to bring in Acock, and they're going to. Jensen heads to second. There's a throw. Stand up double. Well, that was a nice shot down that first base line. It looks a little better if that 4-1 lead at the bottom of the third.
Yeah, they're making King this inning. They're making King get it over the plate, and they're making him pay for it. You know, he's had command issues, and had trouble, finding the plate. And then when he's getting it over, they're making him pay.
Curveball and swing and a miss by Bledsoe. Yeah, he has about 3 good pitches that he can go close to the plate, keep it in that area. Here's the next throw to Bledsoe, and it was low to even the count at 1-1.
His off-speed pitches, he's really fooled some of the hitters with his off-speed pitches, and I think he's getting some of those outside calls off the changeup that fades from the left-hander.
Bledsoe drives it to shortstop, and it's fielded by the shortstop, and he's going to be just got him. It was close. Very close play. That drives the runner to, advances the runner to third. But from here, I thought Bledsoe might have a chance to beat that out, but he
had a chance.
Yeah, at half a step. Might have got him by half a step.
Jansen with a little smart base running. he slowed up and
You bet.
and he didn't interfere with the shortstop because he didn't, but he got in the way of the shortstop.
Yeah, he did
What
what he
it
was
wasn't
wanting to do.
interference because he
That's right.
wasn't out. He didn't. The ball didn't hit him or anything like that. And but it was just good, smart, heads-up base running.
Yes, it was. It's 2 outs. We've got Squirrels have a runner down at third, and there's a ball outside to even as a count at 1-1. As we have Jansen down on third.
Stormborough picked up a couple of big RBIs in the first inning with that 2-out single.
Yes, he did.
That scored runners from second and third.
They're waiting for the pitch, and here it comes, and it takes it high, and they look the runner back. Jansen wasn't about to get picked off. He got back plenty of time, but they know he's down there. Thornborough waiting for the pitch, and there it is, and the call, strike. It's a strike two, evens it 2-2.
Nice breaking ball. King throws a nice breaking ball. His off-speed pitchers are
Yes, he does.
pretty good.
Exactly right. And there's a pitch in the dirt, and it gets by, and here comes the runner in from third safely. Well, this Jansen's got some speed also. He came down that line. He didn't hesitate. As soon as he saw that catcher get by, he was coming.
Yeah, and the pitcher wasn't covering the plate.
No.
Nope. The Sox kind of a little bit too lackadaisical on covering that.
Correct. And here's a pitch, and Thornborough pops it up. Looks like second baseman back and makes the catch to retire the side, but not before the Squirrels did some damage. After the top of the fourth, it's 5-1. Squirrels will be back at Hill House Park after this.
Does your business need, literally anything? When we founded CNS Cleaning Supply, our goal was simple. Become a one-stop shop for anything and everything your operation might want. From car care to condiments, mops to markers, soaps to staplers, and everything in between. Which is a lot. CNS has got you covered. Give Delane Beckwith a call at 573-217-0104 or visit cscleaningsupply.com to get set up with, well, literally everything. Tell them Delane sent you.
Terry, the Squirrels took advantage of some misplays in their half of the third inning and played it 4 runs. So,
well, and some of the misplays were caused by the Squirrels' base
Right.
running. That was just good, smart base running by the Squirrels, especially on that double steal where Aycock gets picked off first, but he heads towards second and made and then Anderson measured the throw and scored easily. And Aycock and ended up with the double steal. Aycock getting the steal second and Anderson steal a home.
Avery swinging a miss on the first pitch for strike one. He's their cleanup hitter. Facing Grant James. Grant doing a really good job. He's 3-1 on the year. And here's the second pitch threw it by him, strike two. Grant James looked in, gets his signal from Van Dyke. There's a shot back off the screen. Josh Aycock caught a line drive off of his bat the last time.
Scooped it right off the top, right off the skin of the infield. Good curveball.
Oh, very good curveball. Avery was punched out of there. That was a nice curveball. That's going to bring in Heckemeyer.
That's the third called strikeout
Is.
for James.
Heckemeyer reached on was it a wild pitch they claimed on Heckemeyer? Was it
It was a strike. It was a strikeout, and they called it a wild pitch.
Okay.
We initially called it as an error on the catcher on the throw, but it was scored a wild pitch.
Joseph Heckemeyer, the right fielder, flips in. He fastball, swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes, was 1 out in the top of the 4th. Grant James on the mound doing a nice job. Grant gets his signal. Here's the pitch to Heckemeyer, and he got punched out. Call strike 3.
That's 2 in a row that he's called third strikes, and that's the 4th. He has 5 strikeouts in the game, and 4 of them have been called strikes.
Yeah, that looked like a good pitch from up here. As Grant James, here's the pitch and foul back. That is Tyler Stokes, the designated hitter.
Flied out to center field his last time up.
And here's the pitch. And a nice curveball in there for a strike. He's having an easy inning right now. He's got 2 outs, and he hasn't thrown very many pitches.
Yeah, that was a big bender.
It was. And here's the pitch, fastball, and foul. He come back with that fastball. He has a nice fastball.
Well, and if you can get that big slow curve, you don't even have to get it over the plate every time. You get it around the plate, and then come back with the fastball. That fastball adds, that slow curve adds about 10 miles to your fastball.
And that curveball is lifted to right field. It's going to drop, and he waited on that slow curveball that time and drove it to right field.
Yeah, kind of a flat foot,
all
arm swing, but got it into the Bermuda Triangle between first baseman, second baseman, and right fielder where nobody was.
Exactly. Gentry, the catcher, steps in. Morgan Jeffries,
he was called out his first time.
He sure was.
Called out on strikes.
And he drives it into the gap, and we'll see if Hunter Scott can. No, it goes past, and that's going to score a run. That was a nice hit, and here comes the runner around third, and he's going to score on a stand-up double. Jason Gentry.
Just when it looked like James is going to have an easy inning, a little excuse me, bloop into the right field, but then that hit, but Gentry sure wasn't. Excuse me, he labeled that one.
He sure did. He laid it to it. That was a nice hit by Gentry. With 2 outs, runner on second, he squares the bunt. Ball inside for ball 1. That makes a score 5-2. Squirrels, top of the 4th. Grant James looks in. Here's the pitch. And off the catcher's mitt and advances the runner on a pass ball to third base. Got another man at third with 2 outs. 2 balls on the batter. That brings the count to 3-0. We might have jinxed the pitcher when we talked about him a while ago, Grant. He was really cruising along there. There's a pitch inside and ball 4. It's the number 8 hitter that was walked on 4 pitches.
And that's what happens when you start adding more pitches to an inning. You think you're going to get out of the inning easily. He struck out the first 2 on called strikes, and then the next three hitters have reached.
The first pitch was a strike, and the runner stole second, but with the runner on third, Van Dyke held up on the throw.
Van Dyke shouldn't have thrown.
No.
That was a smart play.
Oh, swing and a miss. No ball and 2 strikes. This is the number 9 hitter. As Phil James looks in, and here's the pitch, and it's high for ball 1.
Probably overthrowing the fastball.
Yeah. Ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th as James is throwing it, and there's that curveball and a punched out of there for about the 3rd or 4th time tonight.
Yeah, well, it's the 5th time they punched him out, and they struck out the side, but they scored 1.
We'll be right back for the bottom of the 4th in a moment.
A person comes in the Clarktonian, the first thing I look for when I step out of the kitchen is I look for people that's smiling, because if they're not smiling, then we're doing something wrong. You know, obviously we want them to have good food and good service, but we want them to have a good time. So if you come and eat with us and you're not having a good time, I'm going to come to your table and ask you if something wrong, because we pride ourselves on everybody smiling that comes in. So when you think of Clarkton, we want you to think the Clarktonian.
Terry looked like Grant James, and the top of the 4th was cruising through there pretty good and hit a little bit of snag, and they scored 1, and he settled back down to record that strikeout, that nice curveball following that fastball.
Well, the fact that he's had, what I'd say, 5 strikeouts and called strikes, that tells you that his breaking ball, either his breaking ball or his other off-speed pitch changeup, is working pretty well.
Exactly right.
When they're standing there looking at it, it's, you know, if it's he's getting a lot of swinging strikes, that's usually the heater. But that shows that he's getting his ball, the breaking ball, over.
It kind of freezes them in the tracks, doesn't it?
Yes.
We got the third baseman, Heath McCain. McCain in at 3:59 on the day, and he lays down a bunt, but it's going to be a foul ball, and that'll come back and try it again.
We saw McCain pitch, what was it, 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago? Did a pretty good job.
Sure did. McCain out of Oran. And we'll see what he can do with this pitch, and it's going to be a little bit outside from Lucas King, the Sox pitcher. Here's the wind, here's the pitch, and there's a shot down. Shortstop backhands it, and nice arm across to record the out. That was a nice fielding play and a nice arm to throw that player out.
It was, and that's just the way, you know, that's the way you draw it up. You couple of steps to the right, backhanded, and make a strong throw to first. Good play by that's Phelps.
Very good play. Preston Van Dyke, the Hayti product. He'll be a senior at Hayti next year. Rating 293 coming into today.
Flight out to left field's first time.
Van Dyke doing the catching today. Here's the 1-0 count, the pitch. lifts a high fly ball to left field, but a fielder draws a bead on it and records that second out.
I think exactly in the same spot he hit the last one.
I think that's right. Here comes Hiring. Carter Hiring coming in. He's an extra hitter. He's come in at 341. Hiring also out of Oran. But here's the pitch by King and called strike one. Hiring's playing at SEMO now after graduating from Oran.
They had a very encouraging year this year. They made it past the Ohio Valley Conference, which is
that's great. There's a shot to second base, and he gets by him. It's going to be Hiring takes the wide. Thought about going to second, but there were just too many out there.
Yeah.
So he comes back. And Logan, the extra hitter, number 10, he was called out on strikes last time up. Runner on first. Takes his lead. Here's the pitch. Over but low for ball one. King looks in to get his signal. Now he looks at the runner. He doesn't have a very big lead. He thought about going. That's ball two. And here's the pitch from King. No, he chases the base runner back to first. Terry, I like this stadium. Look down. I know you can sit in the picnic area.
Yeah.
And have the Pepsi umbrellas. It'll be ball three.
It's a comfortable stadium.
It really is.
It's a comfortable place to watch a game. They have the seat backs on in all the places to sit. They got the seat backs. You got the picnic area with the umbrellas, and it's just a comfortable place to watch a game.
On the 3-0 count, he was taking all the way, and the King threw it across for a 3-1 count now. And here's the pitch, and it's going to walk. It's going to send the runner down to first and advancing the runner down to second. So we got two men on, and Garrison Scott.
Probably one of the last people you want to walk is the ninth place hitter when you got Garrison Scott coming up next.
I think you're exactly right. As Garrison Scott looks for the first pitch, lets it go by for ball one. Garrison Scott's played in every game this year, Terry.
Well, he's the catalyst.
You bet.
Covers a lot of ground in center field. He's a good hitter, a good base runner.
And there's a shot to center field, and it's going to get over the center fielder's head and to the wall as Garrison Scott hits the second, and that's going to drive in to Squirrels. Garrison Scott is going to go to third. He may try. Minner's driving him home for an inside the park home run by Garrison Scott.
Shortstop got the ball. Shortstop got the ball out in shallow center field and pumped a couple of times, and that's all Scott needed to score.
Man, he could cover some ground. You know, the first time we was waiting for somebody to hit a home run, and we didn't even say, "Go nuts, fans." Maybe we're saving that for somebody to hit it over the wall, but that was very exciting.
Well, inside the park home run. I mean, and we had talked about how shallow the outfielders for the Squirrels play. Well, the Sox outfielders are playing pretty shallow too. Well, maybe they ought not to.
Maybe they learned a little bit. He just introduced himself to them.
Yeah.
You know, I'll play center field. I'm gonna hit this over your head since you play center field. But that was exciting. 1-1 count. And we'll see what they can do. That's got to pump it, the Squirrels up. And there's another shot to center field, but he corrals that one to record the out, but not before the Squirrels plate several runs on the inside to Parker by Garrison Scott for an 8-2 lead going to the top of the fifth. We'll be right back.
At Focus Bank, we believe in really free checking. What does that mean? Well, opening an account requires no more than $25 with no minimum balance requirements or monthly service charges. You'll also have access to online and mobile banking, online bill pay, direct deposits, mobile deposits, automatic payments, e-statements, a nationwide network of ATMs, and an instant issue debit card, all for free. Your first order of checks is on the house, and you'll also receive a complimentary thank you gift. Come visit us in Sikeston, Charleston, Crothersville, or East Prairie. Focus Bank, simple, hassle-free checking that's really free.
First State Bank and Trust is more than just products and services. We're there for you for your first paycheck, buying a home, opening a small business, starting a family, or planning to retire, and everything in between. We're the local bank you know and trust for all of your financial needs. Visit fsbtrust.com or stop by your local First State Bank and Trust to explore all of your financial options. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Terry, what an exciting bottom of the fourth inning that we just experienced here.
And it's one of the things we talked about while we were off the air is how important seemingly unimportant plays are. Squirrels, first two batters went down pretty easily, with no problem. The third batter hits a ground ball to the second baseman, goes right through him. He gets on base. Next guy walks, and then Garrison Scott gets up and 3-run homer.
Yeah.
3-run inside the park homer. Second baseman makes that play. No run scoring instead of 3.
That's exactly right. Jacob Levitt steps in, the center fielder. That's the leadoff batter, as he is 1-1, and here's the strike called.
This starts James' third trip through the lineup.
Don't want to jinx him, but James has really pitched a nice game. Curveball, strike 2. He's worked that curveball pretty nice. One ball, 2 strikes. And here's the pitch, and it's high for ball 2. Game moving along pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just a bit outside. He went back to that outside corner, and they've been getting that call. He's been giving them that call on the outside corner, but that time was just a little bit too much. And there's a shot, and it's going to be ball 4 to put the leadoff man on here in the top of the 5th.
Which is something you don't want to do. You just get 3 runs, but get up to a 6-run lead, and you don't want to put the leadoff man on.
Bryce Phelps, the shortstop, as Grant James looked in, looking maybe get a good, and the runner goes, and there's a pop fly out into left field, but no, Scott runs under it and calls him off and records the out for the first out of the inning.
I think that's the fourth put out this game for Scott.
He's done a little bit of everything. Pruitt, the first baseman, in to face James. James looks in, gets his sign from Van Dyke. This is how the stretch. Blew it back, little curveball by him. Strike one.
Pulled the string a little bit, got him out in front.
Sure did. And here's the second pitch as he has a runner, and the runner goes, and he's going to be in there safely on a reasonably close play, but he had it stolen.
Well, it was closer than it should have been.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Van Dyke made it a closer play.
Now we got a runner on second. As Jacob Pruitt, as they look, runner back, he fakes run the steal. Now it gets by the catcher, and he advances to third. Stolen base, the wild pitch. All of a sudden, you got a runner at third with one out. And here's a pitch, and there's a between second and third, and that's going to score a run, and that should be a hit to first.
Oh, it will be.
That was a nice stop by the shortstop, Aycock, but he went in the hole, had no chance to throw the runner out. Morgan Avery, the left fielder, steps in. 8-3 here in the top of the fifth. Grant James looks the runner back. Now here's to the plate, strike one. Threw that by Avery. One on, one out, and here's the pitch, and high inside for ball one. And here's the pitch out of the stretch, and there's a smash down to third base, knocked down, but everybody's going to be safe. McCain knocked it down, but I think he's going to get an error on that.
Yeah, it was to him. He had a play that should have been made. It wouldn't have been wasn't an easy play, but it's a play that the players at this level should make.
Yeah, and Heath McCain, that's his third error of the day. Joseph Heckemeyer steps in with two men on, and Joseph drills it into the gap between left and center, and that's going to score one run, and Heckemeyer ends up with a nice hit at second base. That was a nice lick by Joseph Heckemeyer. That brings in Tyler Stokes, the designated hitter, with Heckemeyer on second and another runner on third. So they could do some damage. You just one out.
We can see there's nobody warming up. It's like a
got a
pinch runner. Yeah, Tyler Humphrey coming in to run for Heckemeyer.
He must be pretty fast.
He must be
pretty fast. Grant James looks in. Here's the pitch. Foul ball, strike one. Yeah, I thought Heckemeyer got down the line pretty good himself. Stokes has flat out to center and singled on the day. James pitch, and there's an over third shortstop's head. That's going to score two more. And the pinch runner for Heckemeyer scores from second. That kind of tightens it up at 8-6, Terry. They've scored four here in the top of the fifth.
Well, we talked about the top of this half inning that you get a 3-run, 3 runs in the bottom of the fourth. You don't want to start letting runners on.
Runner goes.
Walks the first hitter, and that hitter scored along with next 3 others.
Catcher got by the catcher, and the runner advances to second. We're just one out here with no balls and one strike with runner at second for the Sox. James looks in. Here's the pitch. Outside. 1-1 count. I'm like, well, it looks like maybe getting somebody up down in the bullpen.
Yeah. Looks like Bennett Logan.
I think it is. There's a shot to left field, and that's going to get down, and that's going to score the runner. And Stokes comes around. Peyton Gentry with a double, and we got a one-run ball game, Terry. And here comes the pitching coach for Jamie Johnson for the Squirrels out to talk to Grant James. He got a pitcher warming up very quickly down the left or third base line down.
It's Bennett Logan, who's pitched in 3 games. He started 3, but they're getting warm in a hurry.
Sure is. You know, I was about getting relaxed, thinking this thing's going to be over pretty quick, and these Sox wasn't ready to concede.
I was feeling the same way. I thought, after that 3-run homer by Scott, you had some breathing room. That the Squirrels had some breathing room and just kind of get back, but then you walk a couple, but then and then the Sox bats come alive, and there hadn't been anything cheap about some of the balls they're hitting.
Jamie Johnson stayed out there as long as the ump would let him. He was giving that pitcher down the bullpen time to get warm, but he's gonna have him ready to go here in a second. But we're going to stay with Grant James right now with 1 out and a runner on second, the tying run on second. He looks the runner back now to the plate. There's a curveball for us. Call strike 1.
Russell's walked, stolen base, and has a single.
Yes. Russell looks at a pitch. Low in the dirt. Ball 1. Now these, like you say, they haven't gotten anything cheap. They've earned these runs they've got in this top of the inning. And the runner goes to third, and he's throw down and safe at third.
Good slide.
Very good slide. He just slid around the tag.
Yeah, he slid around. The throw beat him.
So we got the tying run at third base with 1 out. They have had pretty good success on the base pad, stealing four bases today. And here's the 1-2 pitch, and he fouls it off to the right. Theron Russell, the third baseman's the 8th place hitter, facing Grant James. And here's the pitch from James, and swings and a misses, and that brings strike out for Grant James for the second out. Well, that was a big out there.
That's a really big out. You got a runner at third, less than 2 out, with the tying run at third base, and get the strikeout is big. Now he's got to double up on that and get this third out.
And here's the pitch from James, and strike 1. He threw it by him. Yeah, had the best thing that happen is let that guy wither on the vine down at third base. Because with 2 outs, he's going to be running on anything. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Foul ball, strike 2. I think that was kind of a defensive swing that time.
That was a completely defensive swing. He was flat-footed. He was fooled by the pitch, And I think the foul ball, I think he stuck the bat out and kind of fouled it up right out of the catcher's mitt.
I think that's exactly right. Fastball, and here we're going to be tied. It gets by the catcher, and we're all tied up.
That's exactly what you don't want to do.
No, exactly.
You got 2 strikes on the batter. You got a chance of getting out of the inning, and you wild pitch him home.
Yeah, that is a gift. It's going to be the 9th man to bat in this inning, and we're tied at 8. And here's the pitch, and it foul ball down the third baseline. As the 9th place hitter is Connor Wallace. And he blows a fastball by him to end the inning, but not before the Sox did a lot of damage to tie this game at 8. And we're bring us to the bottom of the 5th, and we'll see what the Squirrels can do to get another lead, Terry. We'll be right back.
First State Community Bank has been named the #1 bank in Missouri by Forbes, and we think they might be onto something. When it comes to banking, we've always said that people should come first, and we hold true to that idea. Opening an account has never been easier. You can even do it online. We want our community to thrive, and that's why we put it in our name. So come bank with the certified best at First State Community Bank, serving our community because it's who we are.
Juju Promotions in New Madrid is your one-stop shop for all your personalized merchandise. Whether it's screen printing, embroidery, promotional products, heat presses, or decals, we've got something that will suit your needs. So you, your school, or your business will always be looking its best. There's tons to see, from apparel to accessories. So what are you waiting for? Stop into Juju Promotions today in New Madrid, Missouri. And don't forget to like us on Facebook.
Terry, what a big inning at the top of the 5th for the Sox.
Yeah, the Squirrels just let them right back in this game. The Squirrels had a 8-2 lead. It was the very, very comfortable lead. At least we thought it was a very comfortable lead. But a couple of walks, an error, and then after a couple of those, the Sox started squaring up the ball, and they hit some lasers in that inning.
Eric Johnson's going over to the Squirrels dugout coming from the first base side, and
I think the on-plate umpire may be a little.
I think he's a little bit gassed, I believe.
I think he may caught the heat. Now he's getting up.
We may see a switching in referees or umpires, but I hope the man is okay. He's done a nice job behind the plate today. Jamie Johnson standing pretty close to him with his hand on him, make sure he don't fall. And see, I think he's going to head back out and give it a whirl. And hats off to him.
Hats off to him, but let's try not to be a hero. Get hydrated. This heat and this humidity is nothing to fool around with.
No, it's not. And he don't look like he's moving too good to me, Terry.
He's not.
But he's gonna tackle it in the bottom of the 5th, and that's going to be the leadoff man is the shortstop, Chase Aycock. I'm sure everybody would be keeping an eye on this umpire. Jay stepped in, and here's the pitch. And he drives it to right field by Heckelmeyer. Heckelmeyer runs back over him, and that could be a triple, and it could be another. No, they're not going to send him, but they're going to hold him at third. What a way to start this bottom of the 5th.
That's the second really good hit by Aycock. The last time up was a good, solid good solid hit over the first baseman's head, and that one was by the right fielder.
Sure was. That's going to bring up Gavin Jansen. And here comes one of the coaches for the Sox. We'll see what they're going to do. They may be going to, they've got someone throwing down in their bullpen. Maybe he's just going to give the young man time to get warm down there. It looks like the Squirrels have their man warmed up, and to see if he's going to come in at the top of the sixth.
That is, looking out in right field, that's Humphrey out in right field right now.
Yeah.
That's who came in and ran for Aycock, but I just thought it was
or Huckemeyer.
Or Heckemeyer, I mean, yeah. And
you know,
the umpire's playing it smart now. Simmons is going into the dugout, and I think we're going to have probably Johnson come in as the home plate umpire, and he may be the umpire.
He may be. You know, Terry, you and I never like to second guess coaches. With the length, the Heckemeyer might have had that shot.
Yeah.
Because that just got over the glove of the right fielder. Well, we're going to have someone else coming out on the field. We'll see if he's an official that's going maybe here to call the next game. Going to offer his services maybe. And as big as he is, I'd take whatever he offered. I would take it. Would you? I'd take him at his word.
He's
one of the Squirrels' fathers.
He's dressed appropriately for the weather.
Yes, he is. It says Jace Aycock's dad's what I heard someone down here say. Jason Aycock. We're going to see if the Sox, I guess they're discussing this.
Yeah, I would think, the Sox would have to agree.
Yeah, I would think so.
That that a parent of one of the Squirrels would be the umpire, but.
And his son just tripled, and so he's down at third. His dad now is at first.
Yeah. But looks like the Sox have agreed to it, which
I sure hope the umpire is okay.
Yeah, he was not moving well when he came back out. For that last pitch and that last hitter, he was not spry, to say the least.
Gotcha.
So you hope he's well.
Well, listen, we're going to take a short break at the break in the action here. We'll be right back.
We're right here at King Jerry Lawler's Hall of Fame Bar and Grill on world famous Beale Street, and as you can see, oh my gosh, we have the best barbecue ribs in Memphis. Oh my gosh, the gumbo is out of this world, but you gotta try the King's Triple Decker Slam Burger. You'll love it.
Autry Moreland wants to buy your car. Big cars, small cars, fast cars, and funny cars. If it's got 4 wheels and an engine, we're swiping right. We've got the largest pre-owned inventory in Southeast Missouri, right here at Autry Moreland Automotive. Even if Moreland's not on the back of your car, we're still interested. There's never been a better time to make a change. Come to one of our 5 Autry Moreland locations in Dexter or in Sikeston, Missouri, and let us help you turn what you have into what you want.
We're for agriculture, for growers, doers, whatever it takers. We're for doing things with purpose. We're for the little guy with big guy dreams. We're for agriculture. We're for you. Nutrien Ag Solutions, leading the field.
Powell Funeral Home in Canton, Missouri is here to provide comfort in your most trying time. We'll be with you every step of the way, from planning to final arrangements. With live streaming options and a quality that gives your loved ones the care they deserve. With a modern facility and the willingness to make a difference.
Because there is a difference, there is Powell Funeral and Cremation Services.
What is Southeast Missouri? Let's try this again. You are Southeast Missouri. You make Southeast Missouri what it is. And Southeast Missouri is who we are. It's in our name. It's in our past. And with you, it's our future. Welcome home.
In a very short period of time, we've experienced amazing growth and success at Southeast Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. And through it all, we've had only one goal: to get you back to life. And when things get better, when you feel better, we'll be right here to cheer you on. Southeast Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, always by your side.
It takes a lot to make a home, and no one knows that better than WW Wood. It takes a plan and a steady hand to start the process, the knowledge and know-how to make those necessary cuts, craftsmanship to shape out an idea, and the artistry to add in the fine details and final touches. Our employees are right there with you, bringing it all together to make a quality and custom product that makes your home uniquely yours. So thank you for allowing WW Wood to make your house feel like a home.
Growing cotton in the Mid-South is hard work. As a farmer, you make tough decisions every day. Choosing a cotton variety shouldn't be one of them. Next-gen brand varieties from Americot are bred specifically for cotton growers like you. We're 100% independent and farmer-owned. Plant cotton that works as hard as you do. Americot. All we do is cotton, all the time.
To make the right decisions for your operation, you need 2 things: accurate, secure data and the ability to make it work for you. Introducing AFS Connect Advanced Farming Systems from Case IH. AFS Connect puts you in total command of your operation, bringing together your farm, fleet, and data like never before, with ongoing support from your Case IH dealer every step of the way, so you can increase efficiency year-round. Whether you're optimizing soil conditions, managing nutrients, planting, or harvesting, AFS Connect allows you to remotely monitor every machine. You'll have access to location, diagnostics, fuel, and engine data, giving you the information you need to make the right decisions for your operation. Now that's rethinking productivity.
Well, we want to tell everyone that we're just on a break. We've had an official go down that was probably with heat and we've got a break in the action. And I'm sure we'll be back here in just a bit, wouldn't you, Terry?
Yeah, I thought for a minute there they were going to be coming right back because the Squirrels batter started walking up towards the plate, but now the Sox are leaving the field. And so it looks like we may be just a little while. The official, Simmons, we've seen guys with get overheated, and that's
Right.
and he looked completely like he was overheated, and finally did the smart move and took himself out.
You bet. You bet.
Because you don't want to be a hero.
No, he's called an excellent game today.
Yes.
And we hope and pray that he's doing okay. But we just want to step back and tell you that we'll be back with more action from Hillhouse Park between the Squirrels and the Sox as soon as play resumes. So we'll be right back.
Does your business need literally anything? When we founded CNS Cleaning Supply, our goal was simple. Become a one-stop shop for anything and everything your operation might want. From car care to condiments, mops to markers, soaps to staplers, and everything in between. Which is a lot. CNS has got you covered. Give Delane Beckwith a call at 573-217-0104 or visit cscleaningsupply.com to get set up with, well, literally everything. Tell them Delane sent you.
A person comes into Clarktonian, the first thing I look for when I step out of the kitchen is I look for people that's smiling, because if they're not smiling, then we're doing something wrong. Obviously we want them to have good food and good service, but we want them to have a good time. So if you come and eat with us and you're not having a good time, I'm going to come to your table and ask you if something wrong, because we pride ourselves on everybody smiling that comes in. So when you think of Clarkton, we want you to think of the Clarktonian.
At Focus Bank, we believe in really free checking. What does that mean? Well, opening an account requires no more than $25 with no minimum balance requirements or monthly service charges. You'll also have access to online and mobile banking, online bill pay, direct deposits, mobile deposits, automatic payments, e-statements, a nationwide network of ATMs, and an instant issue debit card, all for free. Your first order of checks is on the house, and you'll also receive a complimentary thank you gift. Come visit us in Sikeston, Charleston, Crothersville, or East Prairie. Focus Bank, simple, hassle-free checking that's really free.
Well, after a lengthy delay, we're about ready for some baseball as Eric Johnson's moved up. He was the field umpire. He's going to be back behind the plate. And Mr. Aycock down at the first base. I know he's an official, said he was scheduled to call the next game, but he came out, and so we're about ready for some action. This one pitch or so was thrown in the top or bottom of this inning, and Jace Aycock drove it out and for a triple. So we'll see if the Squirrels can retake this lead.
Kevin Johnson coming up. He's driven in a run, popped up to second base, then drove in a run with a double.
Lucas King, of course, he got some more warm-up pitches because he had been idle for a while. He's ready to face Gavin Jansen as he looks in, and here's the pitch with the runner down third. Takes his lead off. Now he bounces back. Jace Aycock's got speed. That ball gets by this catcher, he'll be in. But he's a smart runner. He'll pick his spot. And here's King's pitch outside for ball two. No, it's 1-1. I'm sorry.
Infield's playing in something we really haven't seen before, but they got a shift with everybody. And
he got under that. He drives it over the right fielder's head, and
no, it's gone.
It's over.
It's
Well,
gone.
now we can say it, Terry. These fans
gone.
can go nuts now.
Yeah, they can go nuts. It's over.
Buddy, he got
Home run,
all of that
two-run
thing.
homer.
Gavin Jansen, what a drive from Gavin. The Kelly product has given the Squirrels a 10-8. And so that break in action done Jansen some good. He come out about the second, third pitch. He drove it over down the, 332 down the line?
332, and it went about 25 feet out, so it's probably about a 340 shot.
Sure was. That brings in Ben Bledsoe. Ben is the first baseman. Signed earlier in the week with St. Charles Junior College to play baseball. Pitcher steps off. King gets his sign from the catcher. And here's the pitch as Bledsoe drives it out to between second and center field, and the shortstop makes a nice play to retire Bledsoe. Thornborough had a nice lick in this thing a while ago, didn't he?
He sure did. Yeah, well, he started out the scoring. Sox were almost out of the first inning. That base is loaded, and they were almost out of the first inning. He came up with a big two out, two RBI hit.
Well, pitcher King kind of brushed him back off the plate, and the Sox are trying to retire this side before any more damage is done by the Squirrels. Squirrels come up and with a...
We hold true to that idea. Opening an account has never been easier. You can even do it online. We want our community to thrive, and that's why we put it in our name. So come bank with the certified best at First State Community Bank, serving our community because it's who we are.
Terry, looks like the Squirrels have made a pitching change. McLevain takes over on the mound for Grant James. Gabe McLevain.
McLevain has an 8.84 ERA. Pitched 6 innings. He's walked 9, struck out 4.
Yeah, that's certainly don't want to add to that today at all. McLevain got some good speed on a fastball.
Of course, he does most of the catching for the Squirrels.
Yeah.
And will probably catch the second game.
Yeah, McLevain's from Cooter and does a nice job. He'll be a senior at Cooter. No, he'll be a junior next year. And a nice catcher.
Yes,
Very
he
nice
is.
catcher. Gonna come in and try to save this thing, leave it right where it is as McIlvain. There's a ground ball to second base. There's fielded, and that over to Bledsoe for the first out. So 4-3 put out. Bringing in the shortstop. Bryce Phelps. And we got ball one on Bryce Phelps. We got the official up here, the umpire up here in the press box where it's air conditioned trying to cool off. And there's a shot out to right field, and nice catch from the right fielder to retire the batter.
So Jansen out in right field, and McIlvain's having a pretty good time. And
Sure.
a couple of pitches and 2 outs.
Sure is.
That's what you want when you take the lead. You want to shut them down.
There's another shot out to right field, and that retires the side in very few pitches. So going to the bottom of the sixth, 10-8 Squirrels. We'll be back.
Juju Promotions in New Madrid is your one-stop shop for all your personalized merchandise. Whether it's screen printing, embroidery, promotional products, heat presses, or decals, we've got something that will suit your needs. So you, your school, or your business will always be looking its best. There's tons to see, from apparel to accessories. So what are you waiting for? Stop into Juju Promotions today in New Madrid, Missouri. And don't forget to like us on Facebook.
We're right here at King Jerry Lawler's Hall of Fame Bar and Grill on world famous Beale Street, and as you can see, oh my gosh, we have the best barbecue ribs in Memphis. Oh my gosh, the gumbo is out of this world, but you gotta try the King's Triple Decker Slam Burger. You'll love it.
Well, when McIlvain came in to take over the pitching duties, and he did a fine job in that top of the sixth inning. Threw very few pitches, some ground out, a couple of fly balls to right field, and that shut down the Sox. And we'll see if the Squirrels can add to that 10-8 lead.
Looks like Dayton Taylor's coming in to pitch for the Sox.
Van Dyke, the catcher, out of Hayti, is going to lead off the bottom of the sixth, facing
Dayton Taylor.
And there's a shot. It's a center field, and they run it down. I thought it was going to get over his head, but nice catch by the center fielder to retire for the first out.
Extra hitter number 7,
Harder Hiring, the extra hitter, and Hiring. He's come into the game batting .341.
It's 0 for 2. He's grounded out the shortstop and reached on an error by the second baseman. That kind of opened the floodgates a couple of innings ago.
It sure did.
When Scott hit his 3-run homer.
First pitch was a ball a little bit outside, and here's a second pitch, and there's another shot to shortstop. Nice fielder, nice cross. No, it gets away from the first baseman, and he will be safe at first. Carter Herring. That's going to bring in.
That was going to be a close play if he makes the good throw.
It sure is.
Will be an error on the shortstop.
Logan, the extra hitter, will be up with a Squirrel on first, and we'll see what happens.
He's walked and scored. The last inning after Hiring reached on an error, he walked and, of course, scored in front of Garrison Scott on Scott's 3-run homer.
That was first pitch was a strike called on the outside corner. And we're glad to see the umpire up here and was talking and seems to be doing a lot better, he said. And I can understand with that equipment stuff on how you could overheat on a day like this.
Well, it's really good to see that he's doing well. He's setting up here.
You bet.
And
the runner was going, and he reached out and they throwed him out. Nice throw down to second by this catcher to retire hiring. And, I mean, he put that on the money down there.
Yeah, threw it from his knees.
Yeah, my, very nice. Both these pitchers have came in and really done a good job. There's ball one, the one for the Squirrels.
Well,
McLean, and this one's doing a good job.
Both of these pitchers that are pitching in this inning, they trust their defense.
Yeah, that's right. As the pitcher steps off, Taylor. Now here's Taylor's pitch. And swing, and that's a foul off to the right, just out of play. Nice. First baseman chased it, but he came out of ground. This has been a good game. Boy, these Sox came back and really tied it at 8, and we had a ball game that I thought was out of reach. But these players at this category, at this level, you can't ever count them out. There's a strike 3 call, and that retires the side. As we go to the top of 7th, this is the last chance in regulation if the Sox can tie it up or take the lead. And we're going to see what happens, and we'll be back.
Moreland wants to buy your car. Big cars, small cars, fast cars, and funny cars. If it's got 4 wheels and an engine, we're swiping right. We've got the largest pre-owned inventory in Southeast Missouri, right here at Moreland Automotive. Even if Moreland's not on the back of your car, we're still interested. There's never been a better time to make a change. Come to one of our 5 Moreland locations in Dexter or in Sikeston, Missouri, and let us help you turn what you have into what you want.
Terry, the Squirrels are 3 outs away from recording a victory in this first game of this doubleheader.
Well, it's been a hard fought one. You thought that they jumped out when they got the 3-run homer and jumped out to an 8-2 lead. You thought they were going to kind of coast through it. Then you get a costly error. You get a couple of walks. You let the Sox back in it. Then the Sox started feeling it, and they started hitting the ball all over the place.
We'll have a player of the game after this, and right now we're just not sure. But we thought we were sure, but our minds have been changed. We don't know. We don't know if it's been changed. But anyway, we'll see. And we got
I'm pliable.
2 strikes. Yeah. That's a definite possible maybe.
It's a definite possible maybe. I'm very pliable.
And as McLean looks in, and there's a chopper over the pitcher, and he's going to be safe at first because that took a high hop just over the pitcher's head and no time to. Well, we got the tying run coming to the plate.
Tyler Humphrey. This is his first time at the plate. He came in to run for a Heckminer in the 5th.
Tried to lay down a bunt to advance that runner, but he fouled it off. Looks like the Squirrels on the 5th, Tuesday, will be at Paragould, the Paragould Legion, take them on. And then on the 6th, they'll be back here at Hill House Park, along with Acor Media, to take on this same Sikeston Legion Sox, the Silver Sox. And then it'll be state tournament time, so we'll be here next Wednesday doing these same two teams. And it probably will be maybe the same type of game we got now. Who knows? McIlvain has no ball and 2 strikes with no outs here in the top of the 7th with the runner on first. That is Avery down at first, and they square 2. And there's a bunt, and the play is at second and got the lead runner. Nice decision by McIlvain. Bunted it a little bit too hard.
Yeah, right back to McIlvain. He didn't try to rush the throw. There wasn't time to get the double play, but he made sure he made a good throw.
Either one. Well, we got 1 out, and we saw something here tonight that we haven't experienced because of the size of this field. And there's a shot to right field, but that records the out for 2 outs in the inning. And we thought we had a player of the game picked, and then Gavin Jansen came in and put it over that left field wall. And so I think we will go with Gavin Jansen.
And he had another hit for RBI hit earlier in the game. So he hit the 2-run homer and had the RBI double in the 3rd inning.
Right. And runner goes, a throw to second, going to be close, but he makes it in there for safe. And, it was real hard because this would have been a perfect game to have 2 players of the game.
Oh, yeah, because Scott
had a heck of a game.
Had a heck of a game and hit a 3-run homer.
Right, inside the park is about, and, I think we could have had co-MVPs easy enough.
Yes.
Because that was very exciting. Well, both those home runs were exciting. That inside the park always gets you fired up.
Oh, yeah.
Gentry, the last chance for the Sox.
I was kind of surprised to see the Sox steal second base in that situation. You got, it does take away the force out at second, but with 2 outs and you're down by 2. That run really doesn't mean anything. Like I said, it takes away the force at second, but that might be more risk than you.
I think you're right, because that could have
been the 3rd out.
You bet. Well, we're 1 pitch away up high for that, going to bring in a 3-2 count. So the runner on second will be off with a pitch. McIlvain has come in relief of James and done a very good job.
He has not allowed a hit.
Here's the pitch, and there's a drive deep to left field, and that's going to be foul. And, boy, he got all that.
He got all of it, got out in front of it just a little bit. That's one where the pitcher just kind of, little sigh of relief and say, okay, let's see if you can get this next one.
Yeah, try this one.
Got him.
Got him for the strikeout for the win for the Squirrels. Congratulations to Coach Minner and the Fighting Squirrels. And after a break, they will meet again, but we'll be done for the day. But we'll be back next Wednesday when these same 2 teams will play. And we want to say congratulations to the Squirrels and Jansen on a nice blast out of here. And we also want to say congratulations for the inside the park home run and other plays by Garrison Scott.
Now, it's Gabe James, I believe, would be the winning, or Grant James would be the winning pitcher. When he left the game, it was 8-8.
Yeah.
And then the Squirrels scored before McLeavin pitched. So James will still be the winning pitcher.
Harry, as always, been fun. We'll be back. You say you're not going to be here next week, but I'll be here. We'll have someone. And
next weekend.
Yeah, you'll be here.
You bet I'll be here.
And we're not going to keep you away from the state tournament.
No.
No, that's the way it is. And so it's been fun. Thanks to all the ACOR media for all they do. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We try to do you a good job. We'll see you next Wednesday. So goodbye from ACOR Sports. We'll see you later.